You referred to Keith and Basquiat and yourself as the Three Musketeers. Why?
Well, we were kind of like of the time, late 70s, early 80s. In East Village, it was a pretty small world below 14th Street. Basically that was our territory. The three of us were kind of together. Even though our work is very different, and you look at the imagery, we're talking about a lot of the same things, and we were going about it the same way. So we had a lot of the same philosophies, and we shared a lot of time together, and we had a very intense, healthy competition going on with each other. And actually, when they all both died, and I was only 30, I didn't know what to do. I was like, well, who do I bounce off of? Who do I always felt like the three of us were using each other to, in competition. You're
Pushing each other.
Pushing and pushing and pushing, and I didn't know what to do. How was I going to continue without having that? And that was hard. It took me a while.
So you miss those guys?
Sure do.
Man. And what do you think the world would be like now? The three,
If they were still here?
the Three Musketeers were here right now.
Well, I mean, I can only imagine.
Which they may be, depending on what you believe.
Well, I mean, they
could
are
be standing
here.
right there,
They're all here. We're still talking about them.
That's right.
We're still looking at the work. It's still profoundly affecting so many people, artists and thinkers and everybody. So it's still growing, but I only think it was before the internet really was happening. Keith was so big on getting out his message out in the world. I can only imagine what he would have been doing with the internet today.
Wow.
And Jean-Michel was not so much into the technology of things and getting out. He was just so immediate and actually putting the stuff down and what he was doing.
That's crazy.
As you and I, and we cross boundaries and we end up doing things for different companies and different types of projects and all this sort of stuff, it's completely open for everybody.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
To you, what does that mean to humanity?
Yeah.
You can be this, you can be a filmmaker, you can be a scene maker. It's a much bigger picture.
We used to think that luxury was, like a marble table,
Oh, yeah.
a big heavy thing.
That's still the case in cars.
And this idea of what was luxury was precious stones, heavy gold.
Heavy
gilt,
means there's a
and
lot in there.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and personally change the surface of this object. So when I pick up the phone, I want to turn that experience into, let's say, the magical.
That period was fantastic because it was this kind of utopian vision of this idea that we're all gonna, by this point, 2013, we're all gonna be living on another planet.
I'm always most excited about what either I'm working on at the moment or what I just finished.